All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive illusion that's hitting senior professionals and business owners right now. We're looking at that exact moment when you transition from being a mid-level earner to finally stepping into the big leagues. You've grinded, you've climbed the ladder, and you've hit that major income milestone. But what if that milestone is actually a mirage? Welcome to the high-income trap. So, I've got a question for you. What is the absolutely most dangerous financial trap in India right now? Now, you'd probably guess it's a sudden market crash, right? Or maybe an unexpected business failure, or sinking cash into a startup that just totally fizzles out. And sure, those are risks. But the reality? The reality is way more surprising. Because the real trap is something that happens super quietly, right when you think everything is going perfectly.
Believe it or not, the most dangerous trap is hitting an income of exactly 5 lakhs a month. Yeah, 5 lakhs. When you hit this bracket, when you finally become that senior professional or successful founder, this crazy contradiction happens. To the outside world, you don't look broke. Actually, you look incredibly rich. But behind closed doors, you feel completely trapped. You're earning literally more money than you ever have in your life, but somehow you've got less breathing room than before.
Which brings us to Section 1, the illusion of wealth, looking rich versus being trapped. It is a wild contrast. While society sees this automatically upgraded lifestyle, the high-end cars, the premium apartment, those luxury vacations, the hidden reality is totally different. The stress you feel tells the true story. Why does this happen? Well, because while your lifestyle got an automatic upgrade with your higher income, your foundational financial structure hasn't upgraded at all. You're basically running a massive, complex financial machine on a completely outdated operating system.
And because that underlying system hasn't evolved, you fall straight into a trap we call haphazard asset collection. Instead of building a systematic wealth engine, you just start collecting large assets, basically at random. You buy premium properties with heavy EMIs just because, well, you've always been told real estate is safe. Then you get pitched these super complex insurance-cum investment plans by an overeager private banker, and you just sign on the dotted line. All the while, you're bleeding money through massive, totally unoptimized quarterly taxes. You feel the sting every single quarter, but do absolutely nothing to legally optimize it.
So you finally take a hard look at your financial life, and this is the actual reality. Sure, you've got multiple properties, plenty of random investments, and a huge income, but you are plagued by poor liquidity, meaning your wealth is totally locked up and you have zero cash on hand. You've got massive insurance gaps right where it actually counts. You have entirely unmanaged business risks, and perhaps worst of all, absolutely zero succession planning. You look rich on paper, but operationally, your finances are incredibly fragile.
Let's look at Section 2, the cost of no structure and expanding liabilities.
Here's where the transition from mid-level to senior really hits you. The scale of your mistakes completely changes. When you're making, say, 2 lakhs a month, a financial mistake might cost you a few thousand rupees. It stings a bit, but you bounce back pretty fast. But when you cross into that senior tier at 5 lakhs a month or more, lacking structure doesn't just cost you thousands anymore. Now, a mistake costs you lakhs in misallocated capital and entirely dead returns. The margin for error just vanishes purely because the numbers are so much bigger.
And that brings us to a pretty harsh truth. If your income increases but your structural framework is exactly the same as it was 5 years ago, you aren't actually building true wealth. You're simply expanding your liabilities. Every raise, every big bonus, every jump in business revenue, it's all just going toward a heavier EMI or another completely disorganized, illiquid investment. The sheer weight of your financial life is growing rapidly, but the foundation isn't getting any stronger to hold it up.
So how do we fix it? Section 3, your wealth architecture blueprint, structuring true independence.
The way out is what we call wealth architecture. It's a structural framework that automatically funnels your growing income into specific, highly managed buckets to build real wealth. This concept makes sure that as your income grows, your money is intentionally directed. It completely stops your capital from getting lost in random asset collection. You finally stop playing the exhausting game of just looking rich, and you start building a system that actually works for you behind the scenes.
Here is your blueprint. It's 4 specific structural buckets. Bucket 1, risk mitigation, protecting what you already have from totally unforeseen disasters. Bucket 2, tax optimization, legally and efficiently managing your huge tax burden so you actually keep what you earn. Bucket 3, liquid reservoirs, making sure you actually have cash available when you need it, instead of having everything locked up in real estate. And Bucket 4, core growth assets,
investments that genuinely outpace inflation and compound over time. By automatically directing capital into these 4 buckets, you finally transition from just having a high income to achieving true financial independence.
I want to wrap up this explainer with a really powerful thought from Wealth Director Ravi Prakash. He says, "A house built without a blueprint collapses under its own weight. Don't let your wealth do the same." Moving past random investments and stepping into a deliberate framework is literally the only way forward for senior professionals and business owners. So ask yourself right now, are you building your wealth with a resilient blueprint, or is your financial house at risk of collapsing under the weight of its own growing liabilities?